everyone, this is Ann Murphy from ADLT 580. Welcome to my course shell. It's titled Healthy Living. I chose this vision for my course because most of us, I believe, struggle with making great choices for ourselves so that we have a healthy lifestyle, whether it's eating too many goodies or we don't eat enough of those vegetables for sure, and maybe we don't exercise. Possibly we don't do either one. So I chose this for those individuals that are looking to gain some knowledge so that they can start to live healthier lifestyles. I also see it as a course that could be kind of an introductory course for those individuals that are exploring nutrition as a career choice for themselves. So with that in mind, I did choose Canvas as my LMS because I am familiar with Canvas as a student. And so I thought, well, why not work with what you've got? And so I am working with Canvas and am enjoying it very much. It's really great to see all the options that teachers have to create and design courses. So one of the first assignments that we had was the LMS overview, and I really gained a lot in terms of guidelines that I continue to follow as I develop my course. The one was, of course, thinking about, well, changing my thinking, really, changing it from being geared towards a teaching and instead switching it over to being geared towards learning. And of course, the way that they put it in conquering the content, Smith says, what do students need to learn? And that's what we need to keep in mind as we design these courses. What do students need to learn? So that was the first guiding principle that I took away from the assignment. The second one was, whether or not the course is designed with chunkability in mind. And I thought that was very helpful because it really shows how to organize your course. And I go back and forth and change things all the time as I learn more. And I find that, I go back to that point of reference and guideline of whether or not my course design has chunkability to it. And I think that's imperative. That really helped out, of course, with the content. We created two different documents. The first was a PowerPoint, which I did as a healthy living orientation outline. And then the second was a Word doc food plate. And originally, I had uploaded those to the files. And if you click on files in my course, you will go and see that they are both there. Here they are. But as of course, I have told you before that I go back and forth and update and reorganize. Most of you probably already noticed that both of those are right here on my home page. It tells you to first go over the Healthy Living Orientation Outline and then to check out the Word doc and be prepared to discuss it. I found really those two things very easy to upload and move around. I encountered really no problems at all. The next thing is that, of course, we needed to include some resources for our students, which I did. And if you go into the modules, you will see the different resources, and I went ahead and I created different modules. I have nutrition resources here, recipe resources, something everybody wants, exercise resources, nobody wants, and actually behavioral modification, because that's a big part of choosing a healthy lifestyle. So, and as you can see, if you go down further, you can see the different units for my course. The first unit is an introduction into healthy living. The second covers diet, third exercise, and The fourth, habits versus hobbies. Very easy to do. You just go over and create a new module here, and you give it a title, and you can add content. So I found that very easy to organize, and I can move things around easily as well. So the next assignment that we did was to create an actual assignment for our students and a quiz. The assignment that I created, I was very inspired, of course, by our current course organization, and so for this assignment, I did a 2A and 2B. And again, it's so easy. You just click the Add Assignment button, and you get a window, and you just type in the directions, which I did. Okay? No problems. I even was able to include this link. It is a link that students go to and review, and then they go to a discussion and post what they learned. And then the 2B assignment is to create a 7-day menu based on what they learned from the website. So that was my first assignment. You know, I had to go back in and put in the available from until then dates. That was something I originally forgot, and but it was easy to go back and amend. So far, really great. The one part that I really struggled with was the rubric. So that's something that I've gotten better at it, but it was a struggle for me creating the rubric. Now, the quiz, I get a little overconfident doing the PowerPoint and the Word doc and resources and that assignment. The quiz that I created is Healthy Living Introduction Quiz. I eventually figured it all out, but there were some stumbling points, and it certainly took me longer than I thought. Now, my problem did not come with creating the quiz in the LMS. The struggle, of course, that I had was actually creating the questions and appropriate answer choices. So when I say problem, I mean it took longer than I anticipated. And so I have to say, though, I did create a second quiz for my 590 class, much smoother. So obviously the more we do this, the easier it becomes and the quicker it is. So for the last assignment that I want to talk about here is for the grade book. Now, I really thought I was going to have a lot of struggles with this, but I found that it was easier than I anticipated. The great thing about Canvas is in their grade book, once you've uploaded assignments, they're automatically plugged into the grade book. So that was super easy. All my assignments are there. Okay? And now the one thing I did have to do is I had to figure out how to weight these. I had different groups and I wanted to weight them, and I did weight them. I'll show you what I weighted them. The chats are worth 20%, quizzes are worth 10%, discussions 30%, and assignments 40%. Assignments are like alternative assessments, and students really need to apply what they learn, and it's usually a multi-level project that I'm requiring. So 40% is appropriate. So the one thing I have to say, though, is that when I initially created all my chats and discussions and even quizzes, I put them all under assignments, and I didn't give them categories. So what I had to do in order to weight them differently is I had to go back and create different assignment groups, which I did over here very easily. So now we've got my assignment groups are broken down into chats, quizzes, discussions, and assignments, and you can see that's broken down here then with the individual assignments under those headings. So once I did that, it was very easy to create the weight of what I wanted each category to contribute to the student's grade. And And again, that was really all there was to it. The only other thing was is I know that we needed to create a section within the grade book that was a non-graded section, and I have had my students create avatars for their assignments, and so I thought it'd be really great to have that whole column of a non-graded column, and I would have included in there have the students create a name for their avatar, and so I can include that in the notes section. That's the only section I found that was non-graded. And as far as I know, nobody else found anything different. But you know, I think it would work out just fine having the student's name, their ID, and under notes I could put their avatar name. And I did that so students could, and they can use their own, if students are taking this class because they want to incorporate a healthier lifestyle for themselves, they could create their avatar using their measurements, their height, their current weight, their age, their gender, and they could do that without being self-conscious about it, because everybody would have an avatar. If you wanted to make up those different health parameters, certainly students were welcome to do that. But of course, I wanted them to create an avatar that had some, let's say, room for growth. In other words, they needed to perhaps, you know, maybe they needed to get their heart healthy, so they needed to increase their cardio. Maybe they needed to lose weight, but their avatar needed to have some health concerns. So in order we could use the avatar basically as a subject model for improvement. So that's the reason why I had them create an avatar. Like I said, they could use their own personal health parameters to create the avatar, or if they prefer, they could just create new ones, but they did need to include some parameters that needed improvement. So with that said, I have to say this last assignment, the presentation, has been great, because going back and reviewing all the assignments that we've been given, it was kind of neat because I could go back and I actually tweaked my LMS and how I had it set up. I did some reorganizing so that it would be clearer. And, you know, I see how, you know, the more you teach a course and you're involved with the LMS, I can see how you'll want to go back and change it to try and perfect it. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I hope it was helpful in some way. Bye-bye.